Hi, it's John Chenal. We're back at Vader TV talking with Brian Zisk of the San Fran Music Tech Summit 2, which is coming up soon. Brian, you were talking about how successful the summit has been, the conference has been, and some of the reasons for it. So if you want to share with our audience of entrepreneurs, some of whom their business model depends on putting on events or conferences, what's the secret?
Well, can I say having balls of steel?
You could say that.
Okay, basically, conferences are very risky. And you never know how they're going to turn out until the very last minute. And you have to just have the confidence and knowledge that they're going to be really successful and go with that the whole way without panicking. Basically, the way I did it...
You have to know your space, though, too.
You have to know your space
You've been in it. You've been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
You were at the Future of Music.
We started the Future of Music Coalition, and for there we did conferences for 7 years. So I was able to figure out who the best people in the space are, the best speakers, the most interesting folks, the folks who people will want to hear. And I realized there's a lot of things I could drop that I don't need to do that well. You know, I don't have the schedule up on the site so far. I don't have, I don't update the website as much as I should. But here's what I did do. I got a phenomenal venue that everybody loves. I got the best possible speakers, and I put them on the most interesting issues. And that alone, since we do that better than anybody else, everybody comes to see the best folks. We don't get stalled. We don't go in through... go to Yahoo and go to their press folks and say, who do you want to talk? And they say, we want the business guy. No, we focus on the tech folks because the leading tech entrepreneurs, everybody wants to see. If you get the business folks there, they don't even want the tech guys. They don't want you to know who's building their thing. But if you get the leading tech guys, the entrepreneurs, the press, the investors, the service providers, everyone else will come. So, for instance, when I got my friend from YouTube, I ran into him at a party when I was thinking of putting this on. He said, I haven't seen you in years. What are you doing? I'm doing a conference. Would you like to appear? I've appeared at his conferences. He appeared at mine. It was fantastic. Normally when you go into YouTube, they're very hesitant about letting their people speak, and you need to tell them what they're going to talk about and make sure everything's okay. But here, it was like we had him confirmed, and people were coming to see him and the guy who wrote the Yahoo Music Player and all these guys. And then 2 weeks before the show, I'd get these messages. Yahoo corporate wants to know what we're talking about. Or, YouTube corporate wants to know you're not going to make me look bad. I'm like, no, I'm here to talk about how musicians can promote using YouTube and be compensated. I'm not here to get you on the hook and ask you about what happens if there's a video someone shoots and there's Prince song playing in the background. I don't want your legal opinion. I want your opinion on how musicians and technologists can work together moving forward to really improve the situation. So know your space. Make sure you're set up to make money immediately. Make sure you've got your ticketing and your sponsorship all together. And then just, never stop promoting and never stop making it the best show you can possibly make it, because then folks will have a great time and word of mouth will draw people again the next time.
And one other thing, you have it in San Francisco, and you said this is really sort of the center where music and technology comes together. Is that a vestige of what's left over either from, I don't know, the early technology days where a lot of the early stuff was here? Or does it go all the way back to, the bands that started a lot of stuff?
Well, I mean, one would think, you look at John Markoff's book that basically says, the hippies in the 60s spawned the whole PC revolution. And I don't know if I go back that far, but, with folks coming out of Stanford and folks coming out of Berkeley, it's just tremendous, not just in music, but the technological base we have here. So it's been very interesting because a lot of the folks I know in the San Francisco music technology community, I'll meet in Washington, D.C., or I'll meet in Austin, or I'll meet in Cannes. You go to Cannes with 6 people, and it costs you $35,000, and you got to plan a year in advance. Here, it's like... For a very limited amount, you basically can take a day off and meet all these people who normally you're spending a huge amount of time and money to go meet in other places. And it's great because other folks can come and meet, all the top San Francisco music technology companies in one place, in one day, generally the real thought leaders of the companies, because I go right at the technically oriented founders.
And you had one a few months ago. You're having this one. Is this going to be several times a year? Or?
We had one on February 25th, and this one's on May 8th. We are going to have it several times a year. This one came really quickly after the last one, largely because the recorded industry is having its big 50th anniversary celebration here in town the 4 days before. Gotcha. So a lot of my friends in those industries who are real technically oriented want to make it, but they can't always make it out. But if they're going to be here anyway, we'll bring them. And then folks say, well, will that tilt it? Because they're like, going to bring all these music industry folks. And the way I look at it is, if we have 500 people overall and bring 30 to 50 of the top music industry folks, that will only help the conference as opposed to be negative in any way.
Gotcha. Well, after it's over, we'll get you back in to talk about what we're exciting going on. Okay, Brian,
that'd be great.
Speaking today with Brian Zisk of the San Fran Music Tech Summit 2. For Vader TV, this is John Chennault.